All right. Today we'll be learning how to use the step sequencer. I'll show you it here. Here's the step sequencer right here. Normally it's set to this, but this is a curve envelope. I'll show you that another time. I still have to figure that one out, but I'm pretty sure it's the same way as the step sequencer, how to program it. So basically, that's our step sequencer. And these are all the effects here. You got your smooth, your rate, your start, your delay, your loop, and then free run. So basically what we're going to do is go to oscillator, the wavetable here. And the center one is wavetable 1, and then wavetable 2 will also be the center one, but it'll be on the wavetable 2 tab. We're just going to work with wavetable 1 today. So this is what wavetable 1 sounds like with no patches, nothing. That's what it sounds like. So what we're going to do to make this sound more lively, we're just going to go ahead and pump up the voice, right here, the voices to max. So it's going to be 7 voices, and it's going to sound like this. Okay. So now we go to our control, right? And it's going to be confusing at first because everyone has trouble with this. I tried looking up how to do this. I ended up figuring it out on my own by just going through the different presets, but here we go. So I have some, basically you can draw on here, but I have some presets that I'm going to load. So I'm going to go ahead and load mine, which is Space Case, and that'll be on step sequencer 1. So here's step sequencer 1. You have 4 of them that you can make. So I'm just going to be using 1. Maybe later I'll show you another thing you can do. And yeah, so with that, it's set. Everything's good. So now we go to our matrix. And this looks daunting. Trust me, it is. But it's not that bad. So here's your, we're not going to mess with mode. We're not going to mess with curve. We just leave it at add, leave it at linear. And you have your min, your max, and your amount. So what we're going to do is program our source and to our destination. So our source will be step sequencer 1. And that is this, step sequencer 1. So now we go to our matrix again, and we go to our destination, and I'm just gonna hook it up to volume. So let me back it out. So basically you start off at the top here, don't know where to go, but you go all the way down to the bottom. You see how it says WT1? That is wavetable 1, and this is wavetable 2. So we go to wavetable 1, and we scroll all the way down to volume here. So there's volume. And now it's programmed to the step sequencer. And you can check this by going to your control up here in the top. And there it is. See, it's going. It's just going. That little white bar at the top, it's step sequencing. So basically, we go back to our matrix. And this is what it sounds like before I change the settings on here. Can't really hear anything, right? So I'll hold down a note and then I'll lower the max. We'll keep it here. Basically, sorry about that. Basically, the max will control your wave pattern of your volume. I'll show you some other effects. So let's go to step sequencer 1 again. So here we go. We'll go, actually we'll select step sequencer 2. So step sequencer 2. And then what we'll do, might sound crazy, but we will go to, actually before we set our destination, let me go back to control up here. See this? This is step sequencer 1. See, it's selected. Step sequencer 2 is blank. So what I'm going to do is load my other preset, which you can copy. I mean, it's the simplest thing ever, but it's called full bar step. And that's it. That's what it looks like. So we have step sequencer 1 and step sequencer 2. So with knowing that step sequencer 2 looks like this, we go to our matrix and we set our destination to wavetable 1, and we will set it to pan. So pan is what the left and right speaker of your headphone or your surround sound system or whatever. So we're having it go from the left to the right, or right to the left. I'm not sure about that yet, but I believe this might be either right all the way up, or this might be left all the way down. I'm not sure. I haven't figured it out. I'm not that great with sound. So that's that. But this is what it sounds like with that. Oh, warning. You might want to put on some headphones so you can hear it. But this is what it sounds like now. Pretty cool effect, right? So I'm basically recreating an instrument that I've already created, but that's fine. So I got crazy with it last time. I went, all right, I'm going to set LFO 1. So I'll show you what the LFO is. We'll go to control. This is your LFO. So I'm teaching a little extra more. So here's your LFO. There's your knob. There's your global, your sine, all your shapes here. So what I did is I went to the matrix and I set my destination for LFO 1. I set it to pocket verbs. And then I set it to wet. And this is the sound you get when you do this. So that sounds pretty cool, right? So we'll lower this. So basically, you can set your step sequencer to multiple things. Like you can have a wavetable 2 and wavetable 1, and you'd be good. So let me go ahead and just boot up my creation. So I'll click here, and I'll load my instrument, Jake's Synths, and we are going to load, if I can find it, into the chipset. So we'll just get rid of this. And this is what it sounds like. So here we have step sequencer 1 to noise oscillator volume. So your noise oscillator volume will be here, and there's your volume, and here's your noise, which is white or pink, and I have it set to a comb. So oh yeah, your filters. Your filter A, here's your filter A, here's your filter B. I have filter A set to comb, and I have the volume pretty low, but this is what it sounds like. Pretty cool, right? So here's all my programming, and I have my LFO and my pocket verbs. I have my step sequencer 1 and 2 to volume and pan. I have my step sequencer 1 set to noise oscillator volume. And that's basically how you control the matrix and the step sequencer, and a lot of this stuff is really complicated for me, but this I happen to figure out, and I wanted to share it with everyone, so I hope you enjoy. And I think that's it. I think I covered everything. Oh, right. So my pocket verbs, I didn't set it on the original. I actually forgot to do that on my demo. But here you go to effects, and there's your pocket verbs. You select it, you drag it in. It's up here. Well, it was up here, but I dragged it in. I set it there, and I set my wet to low, and then now the matrix is going to read pocket verbs on wet, which is right here. That's pocket verbs and your wet. So it's going to read that, and it's going to play, you know, pocket verbs on the volume knob, or on the wet knob. So here you go. So that's the sound I created, and it was fun. And I got so excited when I figured this out today that I was like, oh, I gotta record a video, I gotta upload it to YouTube, upload it to other video sharing sites, and I need people to know how to do this so they can create their own stuff, you know. And I'm not alone when I'm like, well, I am alone, and I don't want you to be alone when learning how to program your oscillators and your matrix and your control and your effects and having it all work in Buttersynth, you know. So I hope this video reaches some of you people that are struggling, and have a good day. I'll go ahead and close this now, and maybe I'll do another video another time. All right, later.